Alrighty folks, I'm gonna take you on a little bit of a journey here. It starts off with a small sketch, nothing too detailed. I like to just kind of throw it down, just the basic dimensions so I don't forget anything. This is me pulling up to the house. Look at them clouds. We call those Toy Story clouds. But I'm gonna do this one a little bit different. The video, I'm gonna do a little walkthrough where I'm kind of talking over it a little bit. I'm looking at the screen and I'm recording it this way because I don't have a really good mic, so y'all just bear with me on this. I'm trying to get that plywood in before the storm comes. Y'all can see it. I cut down some of the sheets. Here I am cutting them down for the shelves, the shelf pieces. I always try to make sure that you get good measurements. That was me using the tape measure. Stacking up some boards, keeping it organized. You know, a friend of mine asked me if I'd make this bookshelf for her, and I was like, well, heck yes, I can. And I came up with this. It's not original. I mean, where you take little bitty strips of wood and you wrap it around something, and I really like that look. That was me cutting up some pieces there. Some of it's for the base where it actually sits on, and then some of it, you see I'm using that little big bearing there, a little big bearing. I'm using that big bearing as a stop. I'm just using that sled there to get some 45s for some angle bracket supports I'm going to put on the inside, just to kind of help stiffen it up a little bit. There I am using my powerful internal air compressor to blow off the workpiece. Let's see here. I'm using a little brad nailer there. I think it's 18 gauge. I don't know. It's 1/2 inch plywood. That's some of that stuff you can get at Lowe's. It's primed on one side, and I sanded all the inside before I put it together because I'm going to stain the inside, and I kind of wanted to take some of that whatever stuff off of it. Here I am putting those little corner support pieces in. This helps stiffen it up once it's upright. Just kind of gives it a little bit more rigidity, so you're not just solely relying on, you know, the pieces going that way. I really like that cordless deal. I got the Porter cable one just because that's what they had at Lowe's, and I wanted to touch it before I bought it. That's why I hate buying stuff online. I was checking for square there. I doubt it's 100% square. I get pretty close. And then what I do is I'll put my top on, or my back on, and then I will check it again, and then I can recorrect it, you know, push it together on either side to kind of get my square back. It's important that you start off to make sure that your cuts are good, because if your table saw is not aligned, you're not going to get good cuts. So make sure you take care of your table saw, so you can get some nice good cuts. I like what I did right here. Watch this. I don't ever plan out my videos. They're kind of spur of the moment. So I kind of did this and it all kind of worked. Ready? Bam! Look at that. There's 4 of them. Doing a little happy dance. I wish y'all could listen to the music that I listen to. Like, I mean, because I like my music. And I think it really goes well with the workflow. I try to choose music to play in the background that kind of fits whatever I'm building. There I am using some, what was that? I started off by 1x6s. I think they're fir from Lowe's. And what I did is I cut them into 1/4 inch strips, a hair bigger than 1/4 inch. And I did 96 of those on the table saw. Ooh, wee. That was a lot of tables. Red Bull, if you're out there. I'll put one in every video. I've got no problem doing that whatsoever. This is me kind of doing a little pre-stain prep dance. I'm using one of those 2-inch trim brushes. I like those because you can really get to your little edges really good, because the diagonal cut one, it's like at a 45 or something. Yeah, that was me straight up dancing the whole time. I'm trying to have fun when I'm doing it. Doing a little stretch here, getting my game face on. I got to do some pretty labor intensive stuff coming up. These what was it, 96 strips? I ended up cutting out like 120 of them because I wanted to make some extras, you know, because some of them were a little knotty, and the knotty ones tend to break. But what I do is I leave a little bit of excess hanging off the front side. That way I can take it with a flush trim bit or anything of that nature on the front side, because that's what people are going to see. That's where I'm going to put like your little fascia fake trim stuff that goes around. And so I'll use that, and then I'll use a hand saw, a little pull saw here. I got a pretty cheap one at Harbor Freight. If you don't know if you're going to like the tool, find you a cheap one. Buy a cheap one first. That's the way to do it. What am I doing here? I'm putting some little finished 23 gauge penny nails. No. Pin nails. You can barely see them when they go in. I mean, and if it's especially on darker wood and you go to put the finish on, I mean, they kind of disappear. Here I am. Oh, lordy, look at that action shot. Is that a saw cam? What? Saw cam. Yeah, I had to do the saw cam. Here I am actually working on the base itself. I cleaned up some 2x4s that I had. I have had them in the shop, been in the shop maybe about a year, a little over a year. So they've been in there since then. I moved with them. Here I am. I'm starting off with some 80 grit. Try not to stay in one spot too much with the 80 grit, just because it really will
go
eat
through
into
the whole
stuff.
process of sanding, you know, because it's kind of repetitive. But you see, you take something that looks pretty janky,
talk real quick,
and just with some sandpaper, you know, that's what it looks like before. And then after, before, after, before, after.
I'm such a goober.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always try to put my maker mark on there somewhere. Who knows? I mean, if my stuff, you know, I put it together really well, maybe it'll last 100 years maybe, and then somebody second hands it or passes it down, and they're a maker 238. Whom's is that? I got one of those really small hand planes at Lowe's. I don't know what, it's like a 2-inch one, man, or 1 inch, and I love it because it's in your hand and you can get little radiuses. And I'm using a bunch of glue. I put up not a lot around the edges, and I do it real thick in the middle, because if you watch, anything that you put down on the middle is going to squeeze out to the corners. If you put a lot of glue on the corner, then you're going to have a lot of glue squeeze out on your workpiece. So I try to kind of, watch this. Epic. Dude, it hit me in the head so hard. Whoa, bam. It hit my finger too. Maybe I'll go get maybe I got some bigger ones I can go use. It's a little bit safer. I call this a full body clamp up. There I'm just getting some water out to get some of the glue squeeze out. I didn't have a lot, but I had enough to know that the glue was distributed evenly around. Here I'm using some blue painter's tape. I usually like the green stuff, but I had this blue stuff. I'm just doing that to kind of keep it in place. There I am hollering on the phone at somebody. Keep it in place while you hold the trim up.
What are you doing?
And that was
what do you
it.
think?
Well, let's take a look.
I lost the footage of staining and the finish, but this is where we're at. It stands 6 feet tall, 4 foot wide. It's what is that? 1.5 feet that way, and it's 1 foot deep. So it'd be plenty of room for just about anything. I had a lot of fun with it. It was definitely a challenge for me. You know, just getting all the pieces to really look like they went together. The inside stained like a black color, and then the outside's a dark walnut. I finished it with polyacrylic. I've got about 7 coats on the shelf part. I've got about, I don't know, 4 on the back, and then I got about 6 on the outside. I still got to do some doors. Got to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put some glass in there. But this is going to be it for the first one. It got pretty long. A lot of footage. It's crazy how you can take about 6 hours of filming something and put it into about 10 minutes. So, anyway, let me know what you think. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you comment below. And hit that red subscribe button. And then until we meet again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ryan, Maker238. Y'all get out there in your shops or anywhere. It doesn't have to be a shop. You don't even got to have tools to make something. Just get out there and have fun. That's what it's all about. So make sure you hit the red subscribe button. That way you'll see it when it comes out on part 2. Have a good one. Y'all take care.